a world where one picture speaks 1,000 words, Allison Morgan captures more. She freezes legends in time. Famous faces, iconic moments, all through her lens. From rock stars to soulful singers, her photography breathes life into music's greatest stories. Now, dive into this exclusive interview with the Trout, where she shares the stories behind the shots. Now here's Allison with the Trout.
Retired or getting ready to retire? David Smith, your Edward Jones financial advisor, is passionate about helping you craft the retirement you've always dreamed of. With over 20 years of experience, David creates personalized financial strategies to secure your nest egg, fund that dream vacation, or build a lasting legacy for your family. At Edward Jones, it's not just about wealth, it's about living your rich life. Whether you're enjoying more time with grandkids or exploring new adventures, David's here to guide you every step of the way. Proud sponsor of The Trout Show, he's committed to making your retirement vibrant and worry-free. Connect with David Smith today. Call 469-372-1587 to start planning your retirement now. And, oh, by the way, David can assist anybody located in 48 continental United States. Call David today at 469-372-1587.
How did you get into what you do? And from the pictures I've seen, do it very well.
Thank you. And if you mean by get into what I'm doing in the music photography realm,
yes. Yeah.
Because I started not too dissimilar from you a long time ago. My first film camera that I washed a whole bunch of cars to get, trying to do landscapes. And the challenging thing about landscapes, I think, is similar to the challenging thing about music photography. And that is that you are on top of a mountain in front of a lake, something very, very beautiful and breathtaking. And you snap a photo and then you get the photo back and you think, that is not what I felt when I was standing there.
Yeah.
And my approach to music photography is the same as that. It's trying to capture in 1/400th of a second what that moment, that music feels like, what these people are giving to us from the stage. And so, again, back to your story, I had taken a camera in 2017 onto one of the Keeping the Blues Alive at Sea boats. And, I didn't have giant lenses and photo passes.
So you went on a cruise? Is that the one you went on? Did you go on a cruise? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's Joe Bonamassa stuff. Yeah.
It is. And so I just kind of like, wow, this is amazing. And there's artists everywhere and you could feel it. And I snapped a few photos and that was it. Nothing formal, nothing big, nothing organized. And then I started posting them and the artists started to pick them up and repost and do this and that with them. And I thought, well, that's cool. I'm going to keep doing this. And then I realized that was a way that I could give back, really. I mean, because I was sitting there consuming this amazing feeling and vibe in music. And, sort of automatically as a human want to give back to somebody who's giving to you that way. So that's how it all started.
When you were there, did you take, I assume you did to a certain degree, you took pictures when they were performing, but you also take candids? Because obviously, and I know some of the people that play there, they're just sitting around talking. Did you ever take any of those, or were most of the pictures you took where they were performing for the people on the cruise?
Mostly at that time, it was performances.
Yeah.
So I had some selfies, just iPhone, my gosh, hey. And in an environment like that. And what I find is the blues artists in general, they're just the coolest people on the planet. So It's generally very easy to say hello and give them your appreciation for their performances and
Well,
music.
they don't, there's two things, and I know everyone's, I know Joe Bonamassa' PR person real well.
Oh,
I've never had Joe on my show. I gave up trying to get him on my show because he's too busy all the time. He's got three homes. He's on tour all the time. I've interviewed almost everybody that's on his record label, um, more than once, some of them. So I know all of them fairly well just from talking to them. But one thing I do know is they appreciate being asked because you took a picture of, didn't you take pictures of Jade? Did I see pictures of
Dave
Jade?
McRae.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been photographing Jade, I realized the other day, as long as I've been photographing Joe.
Yeah. Well, she's been with him for now we're going on 11 years.
Hmm.
Um, but they appreciate being asked. But the second thing is you've got to be a people person if you're going to be on a cruise because
Yes.
there's no place you can't run away. I mean, you can go in your cabin and hang out, but you're not going to be there and go, "Can I have a picture?" No, get away from me. I mean, that would kill the vibe. Um, so you kind of fell into it, but the one thing I've learned about is kind of like dealing with people that are talented. You kind of have the ability. You're given a gift. Everybody's given a gift. You just got to figure out what it is. If you're a creative person, you're given that gift, and you can be taken away, but you got to appreciate the fact that it's a gift. You have an eye. Now, I'm sure that when you first started, it was probably not as good as it is now, but now you have it, and in your mind, you already see the picture before you probably even take it. I bet you
Uh,
most of the time.
A lot, I do, yes.
And because you know what they're going to like, but also people like this book that you put out, and we talk about that in a few minutes, but you know what people want to see. And when I saw your photography, you probably know this name, but you know who I thought of was Paul McCartney's wife that passed away, Linda Eastman.
Oh, wow, I'm so flattered.
Because now Linda would take more sitting around, in a green room or whatever, or more casual stuff. But when I saw it, because you have, it's hard for people to understand this. It has action in it, and you can feel it, which is what you want people to know.
100%. I
Yeah.
could not have said it better myself. You can go to a show and you can document that there was a performance and here's the performer performing. But that picture doesn't grab anyone. It doesn't take them to the music that means so much to them or a moment or the people they were with or people turn to music when they're in pain. They turn to music when they're happy. They turn to music when they're alone, want to be alone, whatever, any number of reasons. And so my goal is to try to make a photo that makes somebody want to look at it and go, "Ugh," as vague as that may sound. I just
No, no,
want
no,
them.
no, no. You get that moment in time, and I'm sure you take a lot of photos to make sure you get that. But still, when people look at that and they go, "Oh, wow," I think it cements a couple of things for the artist. You probably already known enough. I mean, you get close enough to people that I figure you probably know some of them already, or they wouldn't let you. Somebody's letting you down that close. I mean,
Yes,
allowing you to do it
yes, they're
because you already
trusting.
got you have the trust and your reputation. For the artist, I think it shows you show them in a great light. And secondly, it instills a couple of things. First off, if you're already a fan, you're like, oh yeah, I love that picture of whoever. But if you're not a fan, you'll see the picture and go, man, I need to start listening to this person more.
Hmm. It's true.
And
That's
that's what your work does.
thank you. I appreciate that. And I have some rules, guidelines, personal guiding principles, if you would, about shooting. The first one we talked about earlier, I tried to make an image that looks the way the music feels. The second is that there's, like you say, there's guitar face and then there's unflattering.
Hmm.
And I don't do unflattering. And so there is a big element of trust there, like, and especially the bands that I've gotten closer to. And like you were pointing out earlier, I am in the green rooms. I am watching them before they go on a show, be nervous, be happy, be, going through their rituals,
Yeah.
etc. And so I can photograph that, but only I never want anything unflattering. And so I work that way. And then one of my other guiding principles is that I try to make an image, like you were saying earlier, that somebody wants to stare at, no matter how well known the artist is or is not. You, you know, I, Anybody could make a picture of Mick Jagger and everybody would know it was Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
But I want to make compelling images of all these artists. I don't mean to get too gushy on you,
No, no, go ahead.
but I'm always aware that the folks that are delivering what these rock blues artists deliver on stage, they've been in their bedroom since fourth grade practicing this stuff. Friends were going to birthday parties and they were pouring it into some guitar that they wish they had, or had whatever instrument it is. And so I appreciate that, and it shows in their performance, and you can feel it in their performance. And so to be able to put out work and photographs and a book of artists, like, I want you to know about these people. They're freaking amazing.
Hmm.
And I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of them. And going through the book process, I met a lot of teams and management teams as well.
Sure you did.
And it's some of the coolest people on the planet. And so people often approach me at a venue or a gig, and because I'm in the fandom also,
Sure.
and they, oh my gosh, you are the luckiest person. You get to go to all these shows. Like, I do, but that's not exactly why I'm lucky.
No.
So the reason that I'm lucky is for me anyway, it's much deeper than that. It's a bona
Well,
fide connection to this stuff and trying to
you're doing a
show
job.
it.
You're doing a job. And I tell people this. I said, when I was young, I thought the best thing would be in a band, go on tour, do all that stuff. Now that I'm older, I'd never would want to do that. I mean, because it is a grind.
It is a
And
grind.
and the fact is that you have to, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day. You come into Austin and you play, and then you might go to Houston or you might go to Dallas, and then you're in New Orleans, then you're in Miami. Then before you know it, you don't even know where you are,
Yes.
and you're tired, and you maybe don't feel good. But every time you step on stage, they don't care. They want your best performance they can give.
Yes.
And as a musician, I know there are nights, and I've had this conversation with some famous people. There are nights that you can do, I hate to use the word pedestrian performance. You've seen enough of them, you know what I mean. It's like, okay, or when everybody's on the same wavelength and you're going, okay, this is it. And you happen to be there when they do that. But I think the other thing too is when you're performing, that's what you're doing. You're performing.
I heard an artist once say, actually a saxophone player that's in the book, say, Allison, they don't pay me to play music. They pay me to lug the gear around and to carry it on stage and solve problems and get it out on time. He goes, that's what they pay me for. The actual music, he goes, that is one of life's biggest pleasures. Like, okay.
That's the way you
But
pay the dues. You do all that stuff. And I've always said I want to be as famous enough that I can have my own guitar tech.
Nice. Yes,
That's what
I
you want.
just
That's as a guitarist. That's what you want. Change my strings. I hate doing that.
yes have this removed. I just did 10 dates on the West Coast with Robert John and the Wreck, and they were opening for Samantha Fish, who
Yeah, I've never talked to Samantha. I know Robert John. I've interviewed him before because he's on the Bonamassa label.
yes,
Yeah.
very good.
All right, so let me ask you a question about this. It may sound a little personal, but how do you get paid? You're in all these venues. I'm going, first off, I'm sure they're letting you come in, but you've got to pay to fly there and travel and all that stuff. So how does that all work out?
It's a little variable,
Okay.
for sure, and it's not my my retirement plan,
I
as it
know.
were. Um, Different bands are able to do different
Oh,
things.
okay. That's nice.
Uh,
That's all you
if
need
that
to
makes
say.
sense. Yeah, so everybody that I work with does what they can, and
That's nice.
I I appreciate
That's a
that,
reputation you have. They know
and
your
I'm
work.
grateful for that, and I'm doing the same. I'm doing whatever I can. I got a little bit more into portrait during COVID because a lot of these
Yeah.
guys came off the road,
Yeah.
and then after a little while, well, I guess we'll start making records. And well, if we make records, we want to record some of the recording session, photograph it, and oh my gosh, we need an album cover.
Yeah.
So and that's actually been really fun also to get more involved on the portrait side because those images go out on tour posters and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff as well. And
Those are the
so
ones they pose for. I mean, those are the
yes,
ones, yeah, they're obviously a portrait, but they're posing for it. So they come in and I know some of the people I've seen some of their pictures where they got the sheet or whatever's behind them. They got to do all the funky stuff to make them do this pose and all that stuff and your job is to make them look natural, even though they're not in a natural
yes,
place in their
pose in a
life.
very candid way.
Hey, turn this way. Now look like you're really angry or something like that.
That's pretty fun too. Like um a bunch of the images for Sugar Ray Rayford that are out there,
I know
I
him too. Sugary,
and
something else.
he's just an absolute gem. Um, and so we did some of the, seamless style photos of him that you're referring to, but then also, just stuff around town and get him out there. And then at one point we brought in I brought in my fog machines and fire and
Did you go to
things like
Arizona to
that.
take his
So,
picture? Did you go to where he lived? I know he lives in Arizona.
yes, I did one set in Arizona.
Yeah.
I've done multiple sets in Los Angeles.
Anyone professional person you go, I really like taking that pictures of that person more? Or are they all about the same for you?
Well, okay, here's a crazy answer. They're all a little bit different
Yeah.
in a sense. So, like, for example, I know when I go shoot Glenn Hughes, for example, man, I better pull back and keep it what we call in photograph land loose.
Yeah.
Because Glenn is so animated and so energetic and moving around so much that he'll end up with pieces and parts outside my frame if I don't back up a little bit on him. And then there's other artists like a couple weeks ago, I photographed Tommy Emmanuel here in Austin.
How was he
He
to be around? He seems like he's such a well-known character. I mean, when I say a musician, he exudes professionalism because he's so phenomenally good. But what's he like in real life? Of course,
he is the nicest guy on the planet. Like I've told friends, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that when you wake him up in the middle of the night, he's still that nice. It is not an act. And I've actually run into him and photographed him more than once. The first time ever was in the Mediterranean on one of the blues cruises. And I this crazy story. I was in Athens, and I didn't want to go all the way over to that old town area, which it was a little ways from the hotel.
Right.
But you know what? I'm just gonna look for a place locally. I can walk there and have a sort of a more quiet night. Anyway, so there was this place around the corner, and I'm walking, and in front of me, I can see Tommy and a group of friends. And I thought, well, I don't want to be weird or
You knew him,
stalker.
but did you had met him before, right? Before
I knew
this?
of him. I'd never
Oh,
met him
you had met.
personally.
Okay, all right, okay.
I did see a video though of him earlier that day working or playing with a busker at the Acropolis.
That is funny.
Guy, and he told me the story that outside the restaurant, he said, "Yeah, I was walking along, and the guy recognized me, and and asked me if I could play something with him, and so I did, and so at the restaurant we were going in, and I said, I think that's so cool what you did today with that kid." And he said, "Oh, you know," and then they went in and he went with his friends. And I wasn't traveling with anyone, so I sat down at a table and Tommy had gotten up to go somewhere else in the restaurant and he looked over and he goes, "Oh, if I'd have known you were sitting here, I would have crashed your party." And then I said, "Anytime." And he said, "Well, you know, I'm with friends and I'll come back." And I thought the man is phenomenally busy. He's not
Oh
going to
yeah.
come back, and that's totally okay. And I'll be darned if he didn't come back and had a seat and we had a little chat. And he's just literally the nicest guy on the planet. And then I saw him again a couple weeks ago in Austin and was able to give him his artist copy of the book because he's in it
Oh yeah.
also and so forth. And that was
What
really,
did he say when he get it?
he
What did he
goes,
say?
he goes, "Oh, it's you." I'm like, "Yes, it's me." And then I happened to have some Australian boots on, so we had a little chat about
Oh,
Australian boots, and it was lovely. Oh, but back to your question about like how it is shooting different people.
yeah.
He carries his own lighting person. And so I know that while his performance is not necessarily all over the stage and that sort of thing, um, his lights are going to be amazing.
Wow.
Which for a photographer is
That's
wonderful. And
interesting.
so I'm going to be looking for the shots where the lights flatter him and that sort of thing, or create drama, that kind of stuff. You know, when I'm trying to focus on somebody who's playing keys or somebody who's behind a drum kit, that has a set of challenges in and of itself also.
Oh
Because,
yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, I can't tell you how many keys players I have where I'm the keyboard and then just like a little head kind of creepily sticking up
Especially if
the
they
top.
got multiple tiers and all that stuff you're going on.
Yeah, and so I better figure out a better way to make a picture to tell that story. So,
No, do you think knowing the artist or at least meeting them has an influence on how you take their picture? I mean, you know their personality.
yes. Yes, when I've met them personally,
Yeah.
um,
And I don't mean
yes,
like I don't mean
except
like you know like oh I think he'd want I think it's because you know them you probably get a feeling about something different about knowing their personality, I guess.
yes. I think more so what affects my ability to make pictures of them and compelling pictures is having seen the artist, felt the music, and I can get a vibe for how they are on stage,
Mm,
knowing what they're going to do, what they're not going
hmm
to do. I'm always looking for which way somebody might turn. Are they left-handed? Are they right-handed?
hmm
And then I'll match that to the lights in the venue also. if there's always something straight overhead, then I know when they do this, I'm going to get a beautifully lit shot.
Mm.
Um, and then when I've met them and had a more personal connection with them, I can I can communicate that vibe
Okay.
better on in the image.
Well, and I think also it helps you
That
if you're
makes
on a,
sense. I felt
no,
like
no,
that was
no, I understand
pretty
exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But no, but the other thing I
choppy.
didn't think about is if you watch them perform, whoever the band is or the individual, over several nights, you know what's going to happen.
Yes.
So you can go, okay, this is coming up. I gotta get ready because this is going to have it's going to have a spot over this one, or it's going to have. You already know, so you can get ready for the shot after you've seen them. That's got to be nice to know that to a certain degree because
Yeah.
they follow a pattern every night. And so and when you said about the light, oh yeah, she knows. It's like, oh, this light, I know what's coming on now, so I'll be ready for that. So
Well, that is an advantage because, like, I learned with Samantha Fish that in certain types of songs, she'll do a jump at the end.
mm,
And like, oh, I missed it one night, so I can try and grab it the next night. That's really cool. Where the flip side of that is, okay, I've been shooting the same artist for 10 nights.
mm,
How do I make something unique
mm,
and compelling for, uh, maybe it's the same set even night
yeah,
after night or
I
or
forgot. Yeah,
similar.
that's the other
So
part of it too, because it's like,
yeah,
okay,
so
yeah,
how do I approach that that's
yeah.
not just a different shot of the marquee outside the building? And
Here's my
but
book.
that's yeah, sold out a different night. Um, yeah, and so that's actually kind of fun. That's a photographic brain bend to
Yeah, I'm
try to
sure.
figure out like, okay, how am I gonna do this? And that's actually really cool. I enjoyed that. It was hard, but I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. So who's on your wish list that you'd love to take pictures of? Everybody
Uh,
has somebody they want to, like me, and I have people on my list of, oh, I want to interview. But who do you have on your
yeah,
bucket list that you'd love to go take pictures? It doesn't matter who the genre is. I just thought maybe you had somebody in mind.
yeah, like with the photo pass access,
Yeah.
I really want to shoot Guns N' Roses.
Really?
I did the Stones with a point and shoot from the rail.
Oh yeah, because I saw that one with wasn't it with wasn't Mick. It was I'm in mental break
It was
today.
Ron Wood looking right at me.
It was Ron Wood. Yeah.
Yes. That was really cool. And I learned the Stones, man, they have perfect lighting, which is
You think?
it cracked to somebody like me. Anyway, but I've always wanted to photograph Guns N' Roses as a band. I've done a couple of portrait sessions with Slash individually, and then I photographed his blues band when they came up to Omaha up here. And that's the image of him that's in the book, is from that Omaha show. How did I come up with the idea for the book?
Yeah, the book. Because
It's
that's an
more
expensive proposition.
indeed. Um, and and so again, it started as, how am I going to show this to my 20 something daughters that listen to Harry Styles, who is an amazing vocalist, by the way.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That guy's got some really powerful vocals that I absolutely love. Um, but anyway, it kind of started with that. And then what it really essentially ended up being at its essential level is a love letter to
Mm,
the artists that are making the music and to the fans that support them. And that's
very
a
nice. Very
that's a
nice.
50-50 relationship. It happens every night, when you go out, I mean, every night on stage. They're just out there giving it, the artists, and the fans are just loving them. And so that's how it ended up. And then there's a photography aspect of it as well. I get a lot of enthusiasts and photo people that are interested and appreciative, which I'm grateful for. Um, the funnest thing though, like you were getting back earlier to how an artist sees themselves and how they look at, at pictures, and like the best response I can get from somebody is, wow, that's me. Like, man, if they say that, then I've
It's it.
succeeded. And, yes, absolutely, that is you. And it's either a way that they see themselves,
Yeah.
or it's a way that I've seen them that they hadn't
I was going to say they never saw themselves that way.
themselves that way before. And either way, it's a win.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Trout Show. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate you listening to it. Very big special shout out to Allison Morgan for coming on and talking about her book, her wonderful career, working with some wonderful musicians, and the photos are fantastic. For more information about Allison, or if you want to know how to get a hold of the book, which is beautiful, it's what we used to call a coffee table book. That's exactly what it's for. Beautiful photos in there. You just go to AllisonMorganPhotos.com. Allison, Allison, Morgan, Morgan, Photos.com. Everything's right there. You can actually see some of the pictures she had used in the book. So check it out. Very, very much. For more information about The Trout Show, come and visit us at thetroutshow.com. You can find everything you need there. All the old podcasts, the YouTubes, music, vinyl to viral, and my music, of course. A brand new release that just came out. So check that out. And finally, a big special thank you to Mr. David Smith that keeps the lights on here at The Trout Show with Edward Jones. Thank you again, Mr. Smith. Until next time, people, you know what I always say. It's only rock and roll, but I love it. See ya!